There's a lot of misinformation out there surrounding ships and their respective strengths in combat. This video presents a to-the-point description of the best combat vessels you can buy. The ranking here is based on the ship's overall strengths in different combat scenarios. Let's begin. Number 5. The Lakon Alliance Chieftain. The Chieftain is the best hull tank available right now. It has a rapid pitch and roll rate, good lateral and vertical thrust, and decent boost acceleration. The more sentimental among us might protest and state that the Core Dynamics Federal Assault Ship is just as good an option. Sadly, the FAS has been reduced to a useless lump of shit, and it is outperformed by the Chieftain in pretty much every way. The Chieftain is an excellent medium ship for PvE combat. For PvP, it acts as one of the better entry-level ships, being relatively easy to fly and having a low skill ceiling. Sadly, it suffers from all the usual hull tank weaknesses: breaking canopies, exposed thrusters, and the general lack of tankiness compared to shields leave it at a disadvantage in competitive PvP. Number 4. The Core Dynamics Federal Corvette. The Corvette is objectively the best PvE combat ship in the game. It makes for an excellent gun platform, being the most maneuverable big ship. When properly fitted with shield cell banks, it is also extremely tanky. These features make it a formidable ship in PvP engagements, but the Vet's lack of speed and inferior upfront shield strength of the cutter make it less flexible. Although formidable and a joy to fly, the Vet ranks rather low on this list because of its near uselessness in wing fights. Honest duels against other large ships are its strength in PvP, and its merits in PvE means it earns a place on this list in the first place. Number 3. The Zorgen Peterson Mamba. The Mamba has speed. That is its main merit, although it's not its only blessing. The ship borrows elements from its sibling, the Fer-de-Lance, and these include great hull hardness, an amazing boost multiplier, great acceleration on all thrusters, a class 4 hardpoint, a strong shield multiplier, and 6 utility mounts. It's the combination of these traits, with its amazing speed, that make the Mamba so good in PvP engagements. It is an incessantly tiresome opponent in duels when fitted with long-range weapons, but its other strengths are what allow it to also thrive in open space wing fights. Unlike Falcon de Lacy's Crate Phantom, it is not a one-trick pony. The Mamba's PvP strengths are limited in that it loses its potency in asteroid rings as well as other close-range encounters. Its hardpoints placements and its minimal internals weaken it further. All in all, the Mamba is strong but with a low skill ceiling. Additionally, it is severely lacking in PvE engagements. Number 2. The Gutamaya Imperial Cutter. The cutter is ridiculously overpowered, and FDev should definitely nerf the ever-living shit out of it. Why is it so overpowered? Well, it is stupidly fast for a big ship, ridiculously tanky in the shields department, and it has the highest mass lock factor in the game. But Lyn, I hear you say, it turns like shit, and so it does, but this issue can be solved by just hitting the reverse key button and witnessing the poor sod flying the Vet in front of you weep in frustration. And this here is the cutter's real strength. It can be strikingly effective with minimal effort or competency in the pilot's seat. If you want to do PvP but you suffer from brain damage, this is the ship for you. Anyway, rant over and back to the task at hand. The cutter is supremely flexible. Its speed and upfront shield strength make it an excellent ship in both duels and wing fights. However, the ship still has some weaknesses, suffering from an undersized power distributor, relatively meh DPS, and a tremendously low skill ceiling. There's not a huge amount you can gain from being a better cutter pilot. Sure, you'll probably win more duels, but as far as wing fights go, if you can aim fixed weapons and know how to use pips and banks, you will be just as effective as anyone else. When it comes to PvE, the cutter works, but other ships are kind of better. Number 1. The Zorgen Peterson Fer-de-Lance. The FDL being at the top of this list undoubtedly surprises no one. It is in general the best combat ship available. Other ships perform niche tasks better, but the FDL beats out all of its contenders in the majority of scenarios. It has all the required ingredients needed to make a great combat ship. Best-in-class acceleration on lateral, vertical and main thrusters, an amazing boost multiplier, a good top of speed, great shield strength, good hull hardness, great maneuverability, 6 utility mounts, excellent hardpoint placement and pretty good internals to boot. All this means the Fer-de-Lance can excel in wing fights as well as duels. It is a great gun platform and dogfighter. The ship's drawbacks come mainly from the pilot. The FDL has the highest skill ceiling in combat, but it is also among the most difficult ships to master as a result. New combat pilots die a lot faster in FTLs than in most other medium ships. The same flight model that gives the experienced pilots so much freedom can be a struggle for other players. As tanky as a prismatic FTL may be, it still depends on its maneuverability. Nevertheless, those who learn to use it learn to love it, and it remains the mainstay combat chips for many expert pilots. The FTL is also one of the best PvE combat chips, but its strengths are less apparent in this area.